Hey folks, it's King from Stay Tuned Sports, and I gotta tell you, I love energy drinks. They help give me that boost that I need to finish all my work, get through game film recaps from all of Sunday's games, and they provide that pick-me-up during a very long week. What I don't love is that crash and the jitters, the gross feeling you get with most other energy drinks. And that's why I tried Dubby, and I gotta tell you, Dubby is a game changer with flavors like Dragonade, Beach and Peach, Galaxy Grenade, and my personal favorite, the Dub Sludge. You can find your favorite or just get them all. There's no jitters, there's no crash because there's no sugar in Dubby. Plus, Dubby contains Neurofactor, an all-natural ingredient derived from coffee cherries, which has been linked to enhanced brain function. You go on over to dubby.gg right now. That's dubby.gg to grab the best energy drink you've ever had. And if you enter the code STSports18 in all caps, you'll get 10% off your order. That's STSports18 to get 10% off of Dubby. Be better.
And hello there, all you stay tuners. Hey, listen, it might be Eagles. I hate the Eagles. Don't get me wrong here. First quarter, keep it even. Second quarter, start running the fucking ball. Third quarter, take a power nap. Fourth quarter, oh shit, there's the rest of the game. Let's go.
Fuck it, I'm a diabetic. I will root for the team that will literally give me diabetes and death. Rooting for a team from Hershey is like a Catholic rooting for Satan. It doesn't make any sense.
This is Stay Tuned Sports, and it starts in 3, 2, 1.
And hello there, all you Stay Tuners. Welcome back to another episode of Stay Tuned Sports. It's your good friend Jimbo here. Back after a 2-week hiatus or so. Alone by myself today. King is feeling a little under the weather, so hopefully we'll have him back next week. Just wanted to jump back on and get back in the swing of things and talk some sports with you guys. Last time we talked, the Stanley Cup Finals was going on, and pretty much what me and King were hoping wasn't going to happen happened. The Golden Knights just steamrolled through the Hurricanes. Just wasn't a good series. I mean, Golden Knights just dominated the whole series. I think there was only maybe one game that was a close game, and that's the one that they lost. But I'll tell you what, if they could keep that team together, that could be a very interesting team going forward. I'm not going to say dynasty yet, but I mean, maybe you could call them a dynasty. It's the 6th year that they're in the league, and this is the 3rd time they're in the playoffs. First time in the finals, I believe. First time or second time in the finals. So it's a pretty good pretty good playoff team to go up against. So, and then I'm recording right now Wednesday night. NHL Draft is tonight. Definitely interested to see what the Flyers do. Daniel Briere making some serious trades. 2 weeks ago, traded Ivan Provorov away. I'm not sure. That trade, we got a first round draft pick. So we actually have 2 first round draft picks tonight. Rumor is we may go after a goaltender. Carter Hart is kind of on the trading block. His name's been floated around a couple times with some trades. Kevin Hayes was just traded yesterday, which was an interesting trade because just earlier in the week, it was supposedly going to be him and Travis Sanheim being traded to the Blues for Krug, but Krug would not waive his no-trade clause to come to Philly. So the Flyers were trying to get a third team involved so they could keep the trade going, and we were supposed to get like a first round and a second or a third round to come back, and here that all fell apart, and we traded Hayes, retained 50% of his contract, and only got a 6th round pick. I understand we're trying to get rid of some of these ugly contracts that Fletcher signed some of these players to. And I just want to go on record right now. Even if Scott Laughton's contract is considered bad, I'd still keep him around. He's young. He's a fan favorite. He's definitely a player that you could incorporate into this rebuild. You know, Morgan Frost and Joel Farabee, like they're going to be your cornerstones, I believe, to build around. And you need that nastiness, which Scott Laughton brings. You know, he's not afraid to get dirty. I mean, I know next couple of years is going to be a little rough, and you know, we've talked about it on the show a couple times. You know, if you want the rebuild to be done right, you gotta suck it for a couple of years. And that's what's going to happen. Now we have 10 draft picks for this year. Not sure if we'll use all of them. I could see us trading away a couple, maybe hopefully to upgrade them for next year and future years. I just not sure. I hope that they with the Provorov trade, that with this draft they work on some defensive players. I believe that's where a lot of our problems were starting last year. You know, a goalie is only as good as the guys in front of them. If they can't clear the puck, if they can't get the puck out of their end of the zone, eventually a puck's going to go in. And I think that's where Carter Hart was having trouble with. I mean, I'm not saying he's, you know, an elite goalie by any means, but you got to help him out a little bit. And the other thing with trading some of these guys away and getting some fresh players in there, now the Flyers, you know, head coach could really put his system in and have these young guys buy into it that maybe these veterans that were trading away just didn't want to buy into it. And that was one of the main problems with Chuck Fletcher, is he half-assed it. If the players didn't want to buy into Alain Vigneault's way of playing, well, the players are right, we'll get rid of the coach. And obviously eventually it landed Chuck Fletcher on the unemployment line. I'm still looking forward to the outdoor game. I'm hoping that, you know, by that point we have some type of chemistry going, and maybe we could, you know, get lucky and squeak out a game, because I think the Devils are going to be a lot better next year than they were this past year. So they're going to be a tougher team. Just hopefully this rebuild, we do it the right way, and it doesn't take us too long to catch back up to them and everybody else in our division. Some other sports news: the Eagles have had some of their alternate jerseys leaked. Last week we got a sneak peek at the Kelly Green jerseys, which just look beautiful. And then this week there's a rumor out there of us having a majority of the jersey being the white with the green band on the arms, which I'm torn between which one I want to get. I mean, I like that white one, but whenever I see the Kelly Green one, you can't help but not think about Reggie White and Randall Cunningham. And you know, just to see like Jason Kelce in that Kelly Green would be really cool, because I mean, even though he's obviously not a, you know, 80s player, 90s player, he's has that old school player to him. But as far as the NFL, you know, it's kind of on the quiet side there. XFL has guaranteed 6 locations or 6 games. They secured out the locations for those games, so they're not sure where they're going to play the championship game at, but there is going to be another XFL season. USFL is finishing up this Saturday. I really thought they were done a couple weeks ago, but it's going to be tough for these 2 leagues to try to be successful in the spring when the NFL is off. I'm not saying we all love the NFL, obviously, but it's almost like we need to take that a little bit of a break, even though we want it all year round. And then another sports topic that has been kind of floating around for a day or two now. With Amanda Nunes from UFC finally retiring and officially retiring because they took her off their rankings. There's a rumor floating around that possibly Ronda Rousey may make her comeback to fight for the championship belt that Nunes left in the ring. And I've said this a couple times with fighters that retire and then come back. I'm sorry, there's other women fighters that have put their body on the line, blood, sweat, tears, whatever phrase you want to say, that should be the ones to get the first chance. Make Ronda Rousey work back up to the rankings again. I know she's a big name. She's turned in a really good career with WWE. But I hate how UFC has turned into you sell pay-per-view, so we'll just give you the title shot. Conor McGregor hasn't fought in a year or 2 years, whatever it's been, and sounds like he's not going to fight this year because he never got into the USADA, whatever they call it, to be tested for steroids and things like that. So his fight with Michael Chandler, it sounds like it's in jeopardy. And he's a prime example of that. And if you look, he hasn't won in how many years? But yet they still keep trying to give him a title fight. So at some point, these fighters got to stand up for themselves and be like, listen, this is not right. Something's got to change. Maybe they start a union. Maybe they jump ship and go to Bellator or the other league, PFL. And eventually this is going to catch up to UFC and Dana White. UFC will never collapse, but they will definitely have some competition, especially now if PFL buys Bellator. If they combine all those fighters, they could probably compete talent-wise with UFC. With UFC. But other than that, everything's been kind of quiet. Baseball is still going on. Not really too interested into baseball just yet. I usually around the All-Star break is when I start to really get into it, because by that point, you got the trading deadline. You really know who's who. I really thought my O's would be falling off by now. They're hanging in there. I actually just watched them a little bit on Sunday. I haven't watched them during the week just yet, but they look good though. I really thought the O's would be the O's, and just to show you how good they're doing, they won 47 games all of last year, and as of June 25th or something it was, they're already at 47 games that they won. So they're doing good. The Mets, maybe it's time for Buck Showalter to retire. That franchise is just garbage. I forget how many games under 500, and they spent $400 million on pitching in the offseason. And just the other day, the Mets-Phillies game, Mets were up 6-2, top of the 8th, and they gave up 4 runs on 1 hit. And it wasn't a grand slam, so let's put it that way. Yeah, it was like 2 walks, 3 hit batters, an error. Like it was terrible. But yeah, so kind of quiet. Just wanted to jump back on and talk a little bit about the Flyers draft tonight. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully they have a good draft. It'll be the first of the new GM, the new regimen, and we'll see how that goes. Hopefully we get some more news soon about the Eagles' official alternate jerseys instead of this, little photo leaks and things like that. So I could buy my Jason Kelce alternate jersey. So it's gonna be it for right now. Head over to staytunesports.net so you can follow all of our social media accounts, and if you're interested in buying any merchandise, we have a little tab there for that stuff. Follow us over on Twitter, ST Sports Podcast. So till next week, this is your good friend Jimbo, signing out.